do a recording, actually 10 recordings, showing what's in the treaty and how it works. I thought it would be fun to share it with my other friends that aren't in the UK to see how I read and able to learn things super fast. And at the end of this video, you'll learn how you can learn how to do this too. Enjoy the video. Hi, I'm Howard Berg, the world's fastest reader, and I'm partnered with Dendrite.me in the United Kingdom. We're helping students improve their speed reading and study skills in the United Kingdom and around the world. And I was told that there's a tremendous interest, particularly in the schools, about the new Brexit treaty. And no one's actually read it. There's some politicians giving a little bit of information, but people really want to know what's in the treaty. So I said, let me put my skills to this bill and show people what's in the bill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a section in each of my videos because it's such a big treaty. If I tell you everything that's in it, it'll take hours. So instead I'm going to do a series of short videos and read sections of it and then do a précis of what's in each section so you have a better idea of what to expect. So if you're ready, I'm ready to start. We're going to begin. It's a draft on the withdrawal of the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland from both the European Union and the Atomic Energy Commission. With that, I'll get started. Okay, so I just completed the first, let me see, 52 pages of the treaty. The beginning of the treaty, it's very similar to a contract. It states who's involved in the agreement. It names the different member states of the EU, and then it names Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and then it extends it to the territories such as Gibraltar or Bermuda and the Commonwealth, and it also extends it to people in the EU as well. The first thing it's really looking to do is to protect people from the UK that are currently residing and working in the EU, and people from the EU who may have taken up residence in the UK. It also talks about people who aren't citizens but are people who live in the UK, or people who aren't citizens but live in Europe. And then it goes on to talk about their families, like their significant other, their children. It differentiates between children under 21 and over 21. So if somebody has a child living in say an EU country and they want to continue living there, it'll protect them. It talks about how states can reject a person if there's criminality, for example, and then you have a right to a hearing or a review to see if it was justified. That's essentially what the first part's about. It also talks about the right to work, people that have jobs, people that are self-employed, and it also addresses people in the professions, such as, I imagine, a doctor or, say, a public accountant, and how would that affect them if they're in a different country, and would their credentials transfer back and forth. So the first section that I've just read is basically about protecting people during the transition. It makes differentiation between people who have lived there before this happened, and it's talking about people living here for over 5 years and not missing for more than 5 years from a country, and people that are settling right now during the transition. It's talking about how you would validate who you are and justify that you're able to stay there. They also talk about what will happen after the transition in part. For example, the EU requires a biometric ID, and this is something they still would like to see. And it also talks about that the EU law will continue until the treaty is completely nullified. And I believe there'll be a 5-year period after that where they'll be working out some of the transitional details. And that's essentially what's covered in these first 53 pages. And tomorrow I'll cover the next section. Till then, Howard Berg, World's Fastest Reader, looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Hi, I'm Howard Berg, the World's Fastest Reader. I would like to invite you to try my speed reading program, which will teach you how to read the way I do, as you saw me read in this treaty. With information doubling every 6 months, you need this program to stay on top of vital information, whether you're a student, a professional, or someone who needs to learn. This is the perfect program for you. Go to howiereading.com right now. That's howiereading.com right now for your risk-free ability to learn how to read the way I do.